Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we've had some really shocking news coming out of Southeast Asia. Yesterday, local time, Friday, the 28th of March, some very significant earthquakes hit, mostly epicentered around the capital of Myanmar, formerly known as Burma. The two cities we know of, Mandalay, of course, we all know Mandalay Bay. The resort in Las Vegas, well, the name comes from here. This is the city of Mandalay on the Irrawaddy River in central Burma, and the other city very much affected as far as epicenter goes is Naypyidaw. And if you zoom out just a little bit, you can see where this is in relation to other countries. So Thailand and Bangkok right here, about 600-700 miles away. And why is that relevant? Is because Bangkok was hit very hard. Now, this is a very unusual occurrence. I don't know that we've seen such a large scale earthquake. If we look at the map here, you can see that the intensities are up to almost 8. I think the biggest one is 7.7, and we'll get into the USGS earthquake map in just a second. But you can see just how long this line is here along that river and along that stretch between Mandalay and Naypyidaw. So going over to the US Geological Survey, we have the earthquakes, 26 of them in this area. And you can see the yellows and the reds. I have them sorted here by magnitude, the 7.7 being the biggest one, which is truly a massive earthquake. And again, we just don't know that their building codes are up to this kind of a thing, and we're going to see in just a minute just how much of a problem that was. Again, you don't see any earthquakes near Bangkok, but the shock waves from this have reached all the way there, 700-800 miles away. So you can see we have 26 earthquakes that are greater than 4.5 with a 7.7. There you go, and you have a 6.7. So really terrible stuff. If we get into some of the footage, one of the biggest collapses that we've seen in recent memory is here in Bangkok, where this 30-story building under construction just came tumbling down. And when you see it collapse like that, it's hard to imagine that there is really enough steel, rebar, and reinforcement in this building to withstand this. They probably didn't design it to withstand a 7 point whatever, 7.7, 6.7 earthquake. So pretty horrible stuff. If we go back up this is in Bangkok again, you can see here buildings are starting to collapse. People are all in the street trying just to stay in the middle of the street. Whole buildings just tipping over and falling over. At this point, the death toll is over 1,000. And I think with the amount of damage that we've seen, this is certainly going to rise more. It's an absolute terrible tragedy. Back up in Myanmar, you can see here that this bridge looks like a rail bridge. To me, is completely collapsed over the Irrawaddy River. That the shaking just knocked these different spans right off of the support stanchions there. Absolutely powerful stuff. Here we have another view of this building just coming down, and it has that sheer, eerily reminiscent of the World Trade Center on September 11th for the way it came down so straight, so directly, vertically down. So this is pretty crazy stuff. You're getting views from all these different angles. It's just unbelievable, and it kind of started with this, where so many of these new buildings, I mean, it's a huge tourist area now, Southeast Asia, with Thailand and Malaysia, Singapore, and they're building all these apartment buildings and hotels with swimming pools on the top. And the shaking was so severe that all these swimming pools were just letting the water, they were just swapping out. I mean, you can see so many different buildings where the water is just cascading over the edges. Absolutely unbelievable footage here. Hard to believe. Here you go again. I mean, the whole building, you can really get a sense here of how the whole building is moving. I don't think we've yet seen the full impact of loss of life and injury on this. So it's really a terrible situation. We're going to keep following it. I was just in Singapore a few months ago and was planning to go to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia pretty soon. You can see these are also not far away. You think, oh, 1,000 miles is far enough, but clearly today it was really seeing how bad Bangkok was affected with so many building collapses, despite being a solid 700 or 800 miles away from the epicenter of the two large quakes. Again, the two large quakes here, 7.7 and 6.7. Mandalay, if we look at the shake map, you can see really, really well here how long this line is. Going to try to put a fault map into the video when I'm done with the recording here to see if this is actually following that a fault line that is known. But you can just see how intense that is. So once again, we're following this breaking story. It's been only about 24 hours now. Myanmar and Bangkok, Thailand, being severely impacted by 7.7 and 6.7 earthquakes, with several others that were also in that range. So we'll try to keep up on this story and see what we hear. But for right now, significant damage, significant loss of life in both Bangkok, Thailand, and in Mandalay and Naypyidaw, Myanmar. So that's all we have for right now. We'll see you next time. Bye.